Hello and welcome back to more AEW on TEW 2020. We are here the first week of May for our show of Rampage. I'm going to come up with a few fairly weak shows. We start off with Charles Betts defeating Bronson Steiner. Very different things there. Not bad. Minoru Suzuki and Kurt Angle get into the ring once more to congratulate Betts on his work. Suzuki tells Betts to make an example of everyone, to show everyone that he isn't just some fake person, that he's a real fighter. While Kurt Angle asks him to show respect to Bronson Steiner for a good match. Betts does neither, he just leaves the ring entirely without touching Bronson at all after the match. Suzuki and Angle glare each other down. So Kurt Angle and Minoru Suzuki, they've been kind of trading for the right, I don't know what the words for this are. They've been fighting over who Charles Betts is instructed by, who he really listens to between those two. Oh god. After this, Tully Blanchard's seen overseeing his guys' training in a ring when he begins talking to the camera and says, "You want to say the Four Horsemen were only popular because of Ric Flair? Well, it's difficult to say that he didn't draw eyes towards us, but there was more to the Horsemen than just Rick. Like you said, me, Ole, Arn, even when we added Barry Windham, we were all all-stars in the ring, even with Rick. Because in pro wrestling, you need both the flair and you need the in-ring skill. So what if my boys don't have the most glitz, the most glamour, the most eye-drawing personalities, the largest personalities that you've seen in pro wrestling? They can do in that ring what no one else can. They're good enough in that squared circle to grab a title, unlike all of you can." After this, Anna Jay defeats Killer Kelly. Naturally, is outscored by Killer Kelly. Good lord. Okay. Then AJ Styles in a sit-down interview with Trish Stratus, and she asks about Jon Moxley's response to him. He says, "An old relic of the past is what he said, huh? Well, I can't deny that I'm a veteran. I've been wrestling for almost 25 years. I've been in the ring longer than some people on this roster have been alive. But there's always a place for the experience someone like me brings. Because there's something you need to remember, Mox. There's a reason I've been at the top of the business, one of the best in the world for 25 years. Because I know how to do things in the ring that no one else can. I've been on mainstream television for 20 of those 25 years. But where were you at the start of your career? Where were you 5 years into your career? You were putting your body on the line in death matches for peanuts. You weren't getting televised, you were just fighting for 50 people in a crowded gymnasium, smashing yourself through tables. Face it, John. You're not what the business needs. You're not someone that turns the needle by itself. You're not someone that makes pro wrestling history. You joining AEW was the start of something big. I will deny that. You joining AEW was what made people start to turn their heads, but it was people like me, people like Kana, that truly made AEW the best in the world, that truly made AEW something to look at, something to be proud of. Not you, Moxley." Then, okay, a bit disappointing, not gonna lie. Fergal Devitt and Jacob Fatu defeat Shinsuke Nakamura and Hiroshi Tanahashi when Fatu pins Tanahashi. Why did that match kinda suck? Declining physical ability. Yeah, so it's mainly announcing, it seems like. Our Rampage announce team isn't that great. So that's a bit disappointing. Oh, I forgot to actually look at what that meant. I think Shinsuke scored like a 70, which is fine. Devitt looks incredibly proud of Fatu for taking a massive pinfall over the ace of New Japan. Devitt stares down Shinsuke and makes a challenge for a match at Double or Nothing. That's tentative. I need to double check the rating, really look through what my card all has for Double or Nothing. But that could be something that blows off before DON. That's one that I know that's going to be a match, Devitt versus Shinsuke. I just don't know when it'll be on the card, so yeah. After this, Chris Jericho is seen with the Inner Circle, and he says, "You have plans for me, Haven. What would those be? Not paying my check? Feeding me to the Nasty Boys or something like that? Look, whatever you do to me, I'm not afraid. I've lived through so much in my wrestling career. I've blazed over the world in my stardom. I've conquered the hearts and minds of people everywhere. I've won titles everywhere where I went. WCW, WWE, New Japan. Everywhere that I've gone, I have been at the top. Nothing that you can threaten to do to me is going to scare me. It's not going to scare Ace. It's not going to scare Sammy. It's not going to scare Jake. It's not going to scare anyone who believes in Chris Jericho, who believes in the Inner Circle, who believes in the sanctity of pro wrestling. It's not going to scare all those people out there that buy tickets and watch the shows. Chris Jericho, the champion, the immortal, the king of lions, whatever you want to call me. I'm going to fight until the end. Because that is what the real title, because that is what belongs to me. That is my real title. I am the greatest of all time, and that, fighting to the end, to the bitter end, that's what the greatest of all time does. Very nice rating. Leo Lambert defeats El Phantasmo. I pretty much just wanted to get a big win for Leo. After this, Io Shirai is seen training once again, and she just stops training and just kind of sighs when Chris Statlander approaches. Before Chris can do any of her weird alien shit, she points at a nearby poster promoting the Mother's Day show. Io at least can understand that much and agrees to a match with Chris Statlander at the Mother's Day show. After this, Roxy defeats Jordan Grace. Killer Kelly then shows up on the stage and starts taunting, and she says, "Well, it's a shame that I lost before getting to meet you in the tournament, but at least you didn't go any further than me. How sad for you, boo-hoo. Although, I will admit, you did ruin my plans to mess you up on the biggest stage of the tournament in the finale. But that's no matter. At least we can take care of things now. We can finally get things over with at Mother's Day. How about we end things once and for all, and I'm going to beat you senseless. I am going to whip you with that chain, and there's nothing that the refs are going to do to stop it. There's nothing that can stop me short of you falling on the ground unconscious. This is going to be a no DQ match." So, a natural stipulation for a match. I know, intriguing. After this, Taz is seen with Jeff Cobb. Says, "I've never really been Paul's friend, but I have a deep respect for the man. I gotta say, he pays loyalty in spades. He's offered me the first chance to see Antonio Lawtons, one of the best wrestlers in the world, and who better to face against him than the monster, Jeff Cobb. People call Lawtons a cyborg, and while Team Taz has got its own machine, I think we should see the former IWGP US Champion take on the brand new debut as an initiation to see what Lawtons can do to join Team Taz." That was a really bad accent. I really need to work on my accents again. My impressions, accents, whatever. Utami then defeats Kiera Hogan. Afterwards, Utami gets up after the match, more than happy with her win. She stares down Mayu, who was on commentary for the match, and doesn't break eye contact as Mayu leaves. Utami is more than ready for Mayu at Mother's Day. After this, just going over the card, so we have Mayu versus Utami. That will be your main event for the Women's Championship. You have Jordan Grace versus Killer Kelly in a no DQ match. You have Britt Baker versus Big Swole in a match that not only is for pride, but also is for the right to have the billboard right outside of Britt Baker's practice. Then you potentially have Ashley Flair and Shotzi Blackheart, who would, well, it depends on how Shotzi does in this triple threat match. There will also be 2 tournament matches. Who is it all in that matchup? I don't remember who are in those matches. I know Sheeta's in one of them. Both of the remaining round of quarterfinal matchups will be in there. Then also, this hasn't been confirmed yet. I'll hopefully remember to confirm it on Dynamite. But Kana will be facing off against someone, probably. I'm thinking probably Kana Abaddon. But that is your card for New Year's. And Cody Rhodes advances in the tournament when he defeats Brody Lee with the Crossroads. And that is fine. 72. Lost his popularity, but it didn't make our people upset, which is fine by me. We really need to get Rampage booked better. Yeah, well. That'll do it for Rampage. We'll be moving on to Dynamite.